Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to episode number 100. I'm so glad you're here and patient with me today as I'm late as usual. That's usually how it is. Everyone, thank you for being here and coming to all my episodes. And 100, can you believe it? That is just awesome. So thank you very much. So I want to say hi to everybody. Hi Nikki and Rajal and Emma and Sarah, Allison from Work Club, and Michelle and Janine. Welcome in, everyone. Let me move the, wait, not. I know, isn't that exciting, Michelle? 100. I'm like, was setting up the stream and I was like, wait a minute, 100? And with 100, I am doing a new start. So let me know what you're working on and I will tell you what I'm working on. So last time I worked on the Windowsill Daydreamer, I was like, I wasn't really sure I liked it a ton. I think, for one thing, 18 count was too big. I think that it probably would have looked better in like a 20 count. And because it's very dark. And I was like, I don't know. And I wasn't enjoying the confetti, to be honest. The confetti was pretty nasty. And that was just the background. And my style of stitching doesn't work that well. So anyway, after hearing about how much Ebony loved Beautiful Place, and I've had that for probably almost a year, and I just kept looking at it and thinking, I really love this. And so, yeah, I'm starting it. And so I'm using the same fabric I had for Windowsill Daydreamer. I may go back to that another day, another time with different fabric. I think that it needed a little bit finer. Maybe, I don't know. I may not. I may just say, nah, never mind. I really like the image. That's not the issue at all. But I really feel like the confetti was a lot for me personally. My style of stitching isn't really conducive for that. So yeah, I marked the fabric, but I'm gonna do my normal crosshairs because counting is an issue. Let me know how it sounds and the lighting. I think I have it all set up. My coffee cup might be in front of that light, but we'll see. So my plan is diagonal because I love diagonal. And this first color has a little bit of I have to make a decision already. And yeah, so I will explain that after I do a couple more of these. So let me know what you guys are working on. And yeah, let's get stitching. Also, I was doing floss management this morning. I decided to double check my list, and it was right, but I checked the prices and I had 164 or something that flosses I needed, and it was only like 4 crowns more for getting 200 instead of like 170. So I had to revise my list. And then again with the Airo Floss, I needed 84, and it's cheaper to buy 100. So I asked Gemini, my boyfriend, which he was in my good graces then. Later on, he sort of pissed me off, and yeah, it's usual stuff. Anyway, he's not my real boyfriend. He's fake. He's AI, and I know he's AI. So I told Gemini, I go, take this list of my whips, and I had done a spreadsheet with all the whips and all the amount of floss I have for each, of each color. And I asked Gemini to go through the list and tell me what possibly I could need more of. And so he gave me a list, and a couple times he was a little glitchy, and I was like, this doesn't look right. Can you recalculate this? So we did that a couple times, and then I went through it, and so yeah, I have 300 skeins of floss I need to buy between the two. Well, I don't need to buy that much, but it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper for me to just go ahead and get the extras. I'll need them eventually. So yeah. But that means I'll have shipping. So that was about $50. So I have to look at my finances a little bit better first. But I need to order it so I can start for August. Okay, so Emma asks, hi everyone, working on Bumblebee, a free Mirabilia pattern. Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. That sounds, wait, no, I think I have seen that one. And Allison is working on Not Falling Asleep at her desk. And Michelle is working on Ethereal Love, 11.49% complete. Very nice. And Janine's working on Ride of Yokai. You've said that before, and I can't remember. And Natty's here. Hi, Natty. And Suki, hi. Sanna is charting. And, that was the other thing. I was like, oh, maybe, Sanna said she would chart something for me. I have a little kit that I got from my, actually, I was going to say I got it from my mother-in-law, but I didn't. I got from an old neighbor, and I really liked this neighbor. She was super sweet, and I've been wanting to do it, but it's a paper chart, and paper charts. So Sanna was gracious enough to agree to work on it for me. So I was like, okay, cool. So I gave her the stuff that I had already copied, and I realized the legend wasn't there. So I was like, okay, let me find it. I'll find it really quick. No, I didn't find it really quick, because of course I didn't. I'm like, what the heck? So yeah, I went searching all over. I moved furniture, so I'm a bit sweaty right now. So again, something not really great, but it's okay. I'll find it. I don't throw away anything, so I know it's around. So, Natty says, I've been looking at this pattern forever. I'm so happy you started it. Well, you should start it too. I believe Ebony and Nikki are working on it today. Well, at least Nikki said she would. And Michelle M. We'll say Michelle M and Michelle F for Michelle Fuller. Hi, congratulations on 100 episodes. Thank you. I am excited. Okay, so I have a little bit of thoughts. I would personally, because I'm going to work on the top row first, my idea would be that I'd park over here, right? Yeah. But then there's the other idea of parking down here. What would you guys do? I think with either way, it's going to travel, and either way, it's good. Oh, you don't have it. Okay, well, talk to me later. Arr. And Ebony says, hey, yay for starting this. I'm working on mine, 16.57%. Nice. Okay, so either way, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to just put it over here. You know, just parkaroo right there. I may have to move myself a little bit because I'm, okay. So, and, oh yeah, I have to turn on the parking. I haven't turned anything on. So I'm doing min to max. Oh, that's another thing I could turn off. And I fixed this, but I didn't set this a little lighter. I prefer it lighter because it's easier to see. Park right. Yeah, that's, and Nikki says I park down. Yeah, see, either one is right. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Oh man, I'm sweating. Whoo! It's a little bit warm today, but not, you know, well, I have my AC on, so I don't have any worries about it. But I did have to go into the other part of my house, which is warm. So I'm a little bit sweaty right now, but I'll cool off soon enough. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is I was like, you know, where would you go with that? That's sort of, this is one of those that I saved all the pieces from Unicorn Valley, and there's like a bunch. I'll just take one of these, it's okay. But then I turned the fan on me, and I'm like, it's almost cold. I'll park it up. I'll move it. Actually, let's move it back here a little bit. There we go. I just want a little bit of airflowage. And I see your message, Nutty, and I will talk to you later about that. So, yeah. Oops, big old chunk of wax came off. Yeah, so I'm excited. A lot of thread to buy, and I'm okay with that. 200 skeins on my painted fairy will give me a good start on my my master set on that. I might have to move this. It's a little bit far away, and I'm feeling a bit like it's far. You know what? Oh, I'll just do it this way. I want to cover the threads, but also I want to go that way. Oh, they'll cover. And this is that, I want to say this is the permanent, no, it's not. This is Zweigart 18 count. And I like their Zweigart, the Zweigart 18 count. That's pretty okay. Oops, let's see. So there's none in the next block, but there's one in the one after it. And if I was going to end it, you know, same, I'm just gonna go over there and park it, and it's fine. Cause you know, that's only, you know, it's not that far. We'll go with it. I would normally not, but yeah, it's about the same if I was to cut it and restart it, and it's gonna be covered up anyway. So that's the plan. Okay, now this one's all over the place. Well, this one. 221. It's always easier once you get some going, I think. Oh, my fingers are sticking to stuff. Oh, I got one on the board. let's see. Well, one, you're traveling 20 versus 10. Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's definitely. Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's right, Nikki. Okay, so Nettie says, I had the biggest scare yesterday. My 1 year old, who almost 2, who is autistic, oh, I'm sorry, managed to learn how to unlock the front door while I was making breakfast. I noticed it got real quiet and he got out. He walked up the block around the corner. I was terrified, not knowing where he was, maybe for 4 minutes. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, good door locks are essential. Definitely. Get yourself a high latch. Yeah. And hi, Mandy. Welcome in. I almost bit my tongue again. Yeah, so, yeah, you're right, Nikki, but I'll just, this time I'll go. Because that is something to think about. I do think that I don't think as much about that. So, like, with this one, I would rather, I go down here. Maybe. This one, I'm going to work outside the box a little bit. I don't mind working outside the box, you know, just because I think that it would be more appropriate. And then I'll park down. So, Ebony says, I always park where I'm going next. If she parked down, she would need a duplicate. That was the other thing I was thinking as well, is that, yeah, that it would, that was another thought as well, is that it would be duplicate, but I don't really mind duplicates so much either. So there's that. But then I'd also have more parked threads. So, you know, either way, it's fine. And Natty said, they have a high lock latch. He got the stool. He didn't know how I didn't even know he knew how to unlock the door. They are smart. I wouldn't, yeah. Alex was, he didn't wander though. He didn't really want to get out. He just really liked opening doors. So he didn't go out, but he would definitely open doors, and that was scary. So we got a certain kind of latch for the front door, just in case, you know. And he couldn't open that one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like this one, I'm gonna just park down because there's a lot of this, so I might as well. Oops. And then here I'll have to get a new thread. Oh well. But it's okay. Kind of makes, yeah. Oh, wait, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to park it. There we go. We got a couple stitches in. I'm going to move this a little bit, so I can move this a little bit. There we go. My arms were reaching out a little bit, so yeah, it's fine. Okay, the finger is too much. The music is too loud. Okay, yeah, I'm settling. I'm trying to settle. But I was listening to my favorite Morchiba and stuff, and I turned it up a little too loud for it's too loud for the, you know, calm, sweet music, but yeah. Okay, so, and I did a little bit more stitching. I always love when I do that. Do a little curly Q. Wait, I don't need to put up. It's like when it doesn't want to be, yeah, but see these ones, I'll just do these on the next square. So, yeah. this makes more sense just to do that in the next one. Just go up a little bit and block it out. There. And 3371. There's usually one of these on the board. Whoops. Hitting stuff. It's very short. You know what? I'll just use it up and put a new one on later. It's not very long, but I'll just do these stitches here and start a new one later. See, yesterday I had a chance to like sit and stitch for a few minutes, get myself like composed, well not composed, but you know, just get my everything sitting right. It really does make a difference when I do that. And I didn't do that today because I was messing around with spreadsheets and stuff instead. So then I feel like I've got to wiggle around and figure out sitting positions. It's partly, I don't have a, whoops, that went through the fabric. I don't have a dedicated stitching sitting place. You know, I move my stuff around, when I'm not stitching, you know, like I might, you know, my lighting and, my stand and everything. Computer. I'm not using the computer, but I use it to you know, watch the chat. It's easier to see for me than looking on the phone. The phone does a little chat. It's actually really pretty good. Usually, it depends on how it's sitting, if I can actually see it or not. But it's easier to read on the screen, on the computer screen. And now that I have one that's actually decent, it's worth it. Let's see. Okay, this one's gonna go over here because, oops. Yeah. Okay. Phew. Let me take a sip of coffee, and that's a bucket. Okay. Yeah, much better setup with drink cart and all that. Okay, 3857. Nope. I'm like, that sounds familiar. Maybe I have it on there now. I don't. 3857. It's a pretty common color, brown. Brown. Oh no, it's red. Never mind. My eyes are kind of weird today, I think. Well, Nikki, I'm glad you were, or not Nikki, Natty, I'm glad that you were able to catch him pretty quick. That is so scary. You're right. That's scary. Hui. Alex used to get out when he was at daycare. And that scared me. We were much more cautious about him than they were. They're like, oh, that's fine. I was like, he's wandering in the street, and you say that's fine. He found like a little gap in the fence, and you know, he was like, hey, I'll go check and see what's out there. But he has like a weird, super sense of direction. He's never lost. he's, he knows where he's going. He knows it's like really creepy, weird. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Let's put here. Gotta leave my tufties a little longer. Oh, if we went the wrong direction sometime, like we decided we had to turn around and go get something, go back home and get something, he would freak out and be like, he didn't talk, but he would freak out because he knew we were going the wrong way. It was crazy. Oops. Natty says, it didn't feel very quick. My thoughts and imaginations went very dark, even had nightmares. Been stitching a lot just to keep my mind busy. If I stop, I cry, I have horrible anxiety. Oh, yeah, totally. I completely understand. Yeah. I'm gonna do a stitch here just so I can pivot a little bit. Actually, I feel like I'm actually stitching something. It's kind of nice. Hopefully it doesn't look too thin. I think it'll be fine. I've done I have a few different projects on 18 count, and I do quite enjoy it. But I did decide that I will do Primrose and Feather on 20 count. And the DMC 20 count, because I love that stuff. But I needed to test it out and be sure, you know what I mean? So that's good. It's good that I did that. So what are you stitching on, Natty? And yes, I am. Nikki says, oh, Natty, I'm glad he's safe. Totally. Oh, that would just be, whew. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, when they're autistic, you can't teach them. I mean, you can try. You can, make sure that, you try at least. You can't just say, well, you can't teach them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you did that, but that's, like you can't think, well, no, I can't teach him, because, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do this one too. I'm like, I'm going to do that one anyway. A lot of people, I have a friend who has 2 children with special needs, and she was very much into gentle parenting, and when they hit puberty, all hell broke loose. Both of them, like 3 years apart or something, and it was really bad. And it was because she didn't like give them boundaries, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just, yeah. So now they're almost adults, and it's kind of rough. Let's see. I'm like thinking here. So executive decision is that I'll stitch these the thread's like, it's pretty short, so I'm just going to stitch them out. Fingers don't work. It's always fun. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it. It's not that short. Okay, think again, Suzanne. Do those. I'm just going to do a couple of these down here that are by themselves. And that was not the right spot, so ignore that one. Right here. Nettie says, thank you, Nikki. I think I'm annoyed with him. I can't stop hugging, kissing him. It was my absolute biggest fear come true. Yeah, totally. Started and finished a small owl from Painted Fairy yesterday. I didn't know what I want to stitch today. Nikki says, I bet. I had my second daughter do something like that when I was vacuuming. She was 1. Now she has a little boy the same age. I told her to watch him because he sees everything. Yeah, exactly. And Natty says, my daughter just turned 3 Monday. She was crying, looking for him too. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad you got him. It's just, yeah, that's rough. Okay. Let's see. I wasn't gonna go back up, and I was like, well, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna end it. Fine. I'm gonna end it. Let's see. Let's put it over here. Yeah. Let's do it down here. Fine. I'm done. Natty says, thank you guys so much. I didn't realize how common this was. I've been bearing myself up about it. Yeah, it definitely, it's, it happens. That's why people, there's a lot of people go through this, and you definitely, now you need to be more proactive about locks, and you didn't know until now, and that, what you thought you had was good enough, and now and that's, you don't know until you need to witness it, until the time comes. So, I did that one, didn't I? I think so. I don't know why I just didn't. It's like, I should have just done them all, but then I have the problem with the, ninja stitches, and I don't want to do that. Ooh, look, we're almost done with that first block. Nice. Okay, 8, 9, 8. Oh, it's up here. Oh, it's not on there at all. 1 second. Whoops. Okay. 898. Other side of the book. Ooh, I haven't looked at my cart since the other day. It's like a hot mess. Well, it's not. It's just the little things moved around. 898. There's that one. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna do two. I'll do an extra thread because it's a lot of it, so I might as well do an extra one while I am preparing it. So, Janine, did you start your new project? We need to know. And Nikki said, yeah, I remember feeling the same. You're not alone, Mama. Yep, exactly. You're not alone. Alex, he had a thing about climbing over everything. So, like, he was climbing over obstacles and everything and getting out. And for him, it was more of just, that was his fun. The kid was just such a, whoa. Michelle F. says, we lost our son in a foreign country in a large crowd of people. OMG. Absolutely terrifying. Language barrier, unknown surroundings, etc. It was only for a short time, but it was in slow motion. Oh, yeah. Oh. I tried to get Alex, he's got a bracelet, you know, that has the autism and his name and our phone numbers, because we still have the same phone numbers we've had forever. But he won't wear it. He had a smartwatch that we could track him, but he won't wear it. It's like, because for a while when he was maybe 12 or something, all of a sudden he decided he wanted to go for walks. And he would escape school and go for walks. And Janine says, yes, I got about 500 stitches done last night on pet cake. Right now, it's easy stitching, not too confetti. Oh, nice. Nikki says, my baby, Sophia Grace, was a whole story by herself. She hid herself in the front closet during the night. Oh my gosh. We were looking for her the next day. We finally found her sleeping. Don't name a child Grace or Patience. Oh yeah. I need to get an Amadil ID bracelet or subverting because he's not nonverbal. Yes, yeah, definitely. It's really hard because, like, for Alex, he didn't like taking his clothes off. So, like, I could have put him, I could have put it on his shoe or something, but shoes get lost. So, they say to, there's the what do you call it? Air tags or whatever. That's not always going to work because, they'll take it off. I know that because I was looking at a bunch of different things and they have stickers that you can apply. Definitely look into something if he likes to escape, or if you think he's going to, definitely try. Nikki, my son's name is Amadil Lucifer, living up to his name. Aman Adil. Ah, okay. That's a neat name. Let's see. I am gonna go over here. I'm like, this is feeling like a bit of a meandering pattern right now. I'm just gonna do these. Why not? I don't mind. Break the rules just a tiny. Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna do it that way. Oh, it's okay. Here. I can, whoops, stuck to my finger. I can remove this one right here. I'm already like going outside of the diagonal. And that's okay, right? Making it okay to do it. Back on track. Okay, got it. Let me mark those before I forget. Wow, it's like a lot of stitches already. It's kind of, oh, I've missed one. Fuck's sake. I mean, yeah, you didn't hear that. I missed one. I missed a cross. I mean, gosh darn it all. You want to stitch this, Natty. Oh, did I turn that back on? Yeah, I did. Alright, we're back on track again. You got fabric? Oh, yes. Thank you. Did I miss something? Oh, dang. Why does Janine always end up getting blocked? I wonder. That's so weird. Sorry, Janine. So that was fine, but not this other one. Not sure you saw my other message, but I posted right on Yokai on Discord. Yeah, I'll look at it in a little bit. Every pattern is a meandering pattern for me, Nikki says. Natty says, I need to stitch, but don't know what. I spotless love a new start and stitch, but don't have the pattern, and yes, I have plenty of fabric. I'm gonna look at Discord real quick, and let me mark these off real quick, and so Natty, post your picture on Discord if you want, and I will check on Discord real quick. Let me mark these off. All right, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. So I'll put the big screen on in a second. You don't like me? You know what? I don't know what's up with Janine's messages. If I have it on top chat, and I don't even understand why that top chat bullpucky is there to begin with. It's silly. It is ridiculous. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know why. So, okay, I'm done with that. Okay, let me check Discord now. Nikki says, I got you, Janine. Good thing. Oh, yeah, what is that? Oh, Suki, I'll get back to you about that. Okay, wait, that was in patterns. I'm like, where am I? Oh, where am I? Introductions? No, you shouldn't be in introductions. I'm like looking for, while Natalie's there. Oh, so, Sarah's working on Coffee Heart. Oh, this one's super pretty. You guys can see that, right? Okay, I'm just making sure. Nikki says, I feel like I'm cheating on dragonflies. No, you're not. That one's really cute, Sarah. Oh, wow, Janine, that is, okay, I think I have seen this one. That is really pretty. Did you guys see that? That is so pretty. Wow, that is super cool. See, here's another artist I don't think I've actually even looked at before. That's too bad. Oh, and here we are, 7,000 stitches done. Where did you start on that, Janine? That's looking good. And Natalie did this yesterday. Oh, that's cute. Aw, that's adorable. So Natty says, Nikki, you're not somebody's. You need a change. You need a change. It's a whole lot of blue sometimes. Oh, okay. Sometimes you need a change. Okay. I was like, well, yeah, she's someone's maybe. And Sarah says, I posted a progress photo. It looks like it's not there. Okay, I'll check in a second for you. And Allison says, I ordered what I think is Airo Floss from Dream Stitch 6 days ago. It arrived today. The other stuff I ordered not with it though. Oh, really? And Janine says it's sideways, started in the middle so I could get to the woman. Okay. And Nikki says, Natty, I've been working on the dragonflies for the last 15 days. Really? What other stuff did you order from Dream Stitch? He's usually really good. I think if you email him, it wasn't up there. I don't see it, Sarah. That's weird. Yeah, maybe email Ryan and see what happened. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Allison, the arrow is Airo. They just changed the label for some reason. Okay. What other stuff did you... Oh, here we go. Here's Sarah's. That's really pretty, Sarah. That looks really good. You're really cooking on that. How much have you got done now? Looks great. Good job, everyone. Okay. Yeah, I just saw it. Nice. Okay. And... okay. Oops. I'm trying to close stuff here. Okay. And clear that, clear that, clear... Oh, no. Okay. I think I just... I just closed the saga window. Hold on a second. Let me turn it on again. Yeah, it's just a bit silly. Okay, there we go. Now we're back. Oh, okay. Allison's and Sarah's working on dragonflies today. Oh, that's right. You did say that earlier. And Allison said magnet and needles, they might be coming from China, as the thread had a UK patch address. I'll give it another week. Oh, okay. And well, you're not in the EU, so I know there's a thing about the EU right now that's everything's changing, and yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work, but you're not in the EU, so that shouldn't really matter. But they might just treat it all like that. I was looking at that because I know for the EU it's like they're gonna charge you per item or something. It's really stupid. So I don't know. I can't really explain it because I don't understand it. But I think that also said UK on Dreamstitch when I looked this morning. I think it said EU and UK or something like that. So hopefully it's not an issue. And yeah. And you're at 3%. Well, that's still pretty good, Sarah. Sarah's at 3% on that. And I'm going to take a sip of coffee after I do this stitch here. It's not completely. I think that I will meander down here a little bit more. There's a little bit of, well, just park it. Just park it. There. Okay. Okay, well, that's done. Nikki says they really want y'all to use DMC only. No, they just don't want us to buy anything from China. Absolutely nothing from China, even though most big chains are buying the stuff from China anyway. They just don't want us buying it and paying less for it. They, yeah. They started this a couple years ago when a lot of the stuff from China was being sold on eBay really cheap. And here in Sweden at least, and they were all like, it's ruining the Swedish, it's ruining Swedish companies or whatever. But like one of the things that I bought at the time was these things right here, clover clips, right? Which clover is made in Japan, right? So, it's still not made in Sweden. And I bought 10 of them from a sewing store. And then I found them on eBay, and I could buy 100 of them for less than I bought for 10. And what I realized is they were not clover clips, the ones I bought. They were the same ones I got from eBay from China that somebody here had paid, they imported them and made me pay all that extra. And it was still cheaper than, for me to do it the way I did it, honestly. Okay, so we'll go back to Mindamax again. I have a little bit extra stuff going on here. So 3830. So yeah, and then, like fabric here has a really big, it has a high import tax. So fabric is super expensive here. And then the options are quite low. There's not a huge amount of, I can cut this. there's not a huge options either. So I was just getting them from the I was getting stuff I wanted from either the UK or, I did sometimes buy here in Europe, but it just depended on what I could get. And, but mostly it was like I would buy it from the UK or the US because just, there was more options. No, you can't do that. You can't have options. God forbid you have options. Yeah. And it used to be that under a certain amount you were okay, and that, I don't mind. If I'm spending like, $1,000 on something, yeah, sure, I'll pay import tax, but it's just, it feels stupid. I'm unhappy with it. It's like you can't be frugal, you gotta buy your stuff from IKEA. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That was a bit short. Allison says, I have those little clips. It's handy to hold threads out of the way when you park. Yeah, I use the clips for a lot of stuff. I use them in weaving. I use them a lot to, I roll the fabric up and I clip the fabric. And I usually have one. So like, hold on a second, I'll show you. So here I roll the fabric up and I clip it and it holds it. I love these clips. I use them sometimes when I'm parking. I'll put them up and I'll clip like, here, let me move that over again. I'll clip the stuff like that, I use them a lot, and I use them a lot for sewing, and I use them for weaving. Let me put that back so you guys can see again. Let's see. Janine says fabric is super expensive here. No, Janine. No, it's not. I'm talking about sewing fabric. Sewing fabric is super cheap in the US, or at least it was when I was sewing. And Allison says, I have those little clips handy to hold threads out of the way if you park. I used to go, when I lived in San Diego, I used to go to this, like they had these huge flea markets where they just sold like extra fabric, and you could go there and you could just buy fabric, tons and tons of fabric for like nothing, and it was just awesome. Nothing like that here. Yes, okay, so cross-stitch fabric for you is imported, so yes, I can agree that would be expensive. So, I do hear you there. 936. Hi Lizzie, welcome in. 936. Just one. 93. No, none there. But there will be now. Most fabric stores here are, and I have found now there's more quilting shops but the fabric is just so expensive. All that stuff is super expensive. But when I first moved here, it was like you went to the fabric store to buy stuff for curtains. That was what they sold them for. Janine says, sewing fabric. All the fabric stores around me have closed. LOL. Yeah, and that's. Yeah, I'm sure that's how it is, Like the little fabric store that is here, she has like a bunch of stuff. Nothing really There's no like fashion fabric or anything. There's a little bit maybe, but there's no quilting fabric. I have to order everything. It's mostly for people who want to make curtains. Everyone wants curtains here. It's funny because when you tell people you weave here in Sweden, oh, are you weaving a rug? It's usually, are you weaving a rug or are you weaving curtains? It's like no and no. Michelle Fuller says, oh wait, here we go. Nikki says, I don't think we have sewing fabric manufacturers in the U.S. We ship all our cotton overseas. Yeah, I think so. Most of our fabrics, Michelle says, most of our fabrics are imported from Japan. They have more lenient laws on dyeing. Yeah, I don't know. There used to be sewing fabric manufacturers in the U.S. And yeah, I don't remember. 830. I'm checking the board because you never know. There's not even a hole in that one. Well, there's absolutely none here either. Michelle F says, we have to send our cotton overseas because we don't have those manufacturing facilities anymore. We killed our industries when we went to the global economy. Yeah, I think a lot of people did that. You know, a lot of countries did that. And then they don't want you to buy from China, you know, even though they did this, you know, they did it, not us. Yeah, so... where's my ruler? It fell down. That's fine. I'm like looking for my ruler. I've never used this color, I don't think. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut some. Yeah, I could tell during COVID. Yep, exactly. And it's greedy people's fault. It's, you know. Well, that was one thing when COVID hit here, is that people, you know, started freaking out and, you know, like stocking up, which, you know, I understand. But toilet paper was, you know, because in the U.S., everyone was, you know, pretty much everywhere all over the world, everyone was going crazy and buying up toilet paper. And they announced on TV, they're like, there is no shortage of toilet paper. Do not worry about it, because they manufacture toilet paper here, you know, and it's like, you do not have to worry about it. So yeah, that was a bit funny. And there was a lot of different stuff that they were like, you know, these are the kind of things you don't really have to worry about. And that was nice. They were like, okay, these things are homegrown, you know, you don't have to worry about it. So that was good. But yeah, there are a lot of stuff needs to be made in the countries. Let's see. Lizzie says, I have a shop that sells some fabrics in my local town. Yeah, I have one, but it's not really, it's just emergency stuff, I think, more. Michelle F says, now it will cost billions of dollars to build these industries back. I'm not sure it's worth it for the companies. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Nikki says, the only one in my town is Hobby Lobby since Joanna's gone, but I bet, if not all, their fabrics from China. I will not shop from Hobby Lobby. I wouldn't if it was the last place. I'm like, nope, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. And that was not the right place to put that. Ignore that. At least it comes out easy. Yeah, you know. But I have, since I started quilting and stuff here, I have found some really great, you know, shops that sell stuff. But, you know, it's all imported. The same with cross-stitch stuff. It's all imported. Well, yeah, it is. Everything's imported. There's none of that stuff's made here. Yeah, I'm going to put that over there. It's a little bit far, but... 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Is this 18 count? Yeah, it is. Does it look a little thin? I like 18 count. It feels like roomy and nice, but then it also feels a little light. But it will shrink up when it's washed, so I'm not too worried about it. You know, yeah. Park here, bucket, and here's a parked thread. And it's just going right next door. This one was on the edge, so that's why I'll leave that. $7.30. Nope. Nikki says, I think it's fine. We are close to it, and you're right, it will shrink. Yeah, exactly. I've been doing the Forest Friends on 18 count, and it just looks so good. And I think it's because that's lighter. You don't really see it. And it's the same fabric as this, if I remember right. I'm like trying to remember where I got that fabric. And I love stitching on that. It's really a great, it's fun to stitch that pattern because it's, you know, yeah, and I think it looks really good. And this is just really, you know, it's dark and it'll be fine. And if it's not, whatever. It will be. It'll shrink. It's Zweigart, so it's got a lot of starch in it, and you know, all that will wash out. And it's 100% cotton, and 100% cotton shrinks 10%. So we know. Yeah. Oh, so Janine says, I'm doing my Bluebell cell on 18 count 2/1 full cross. It seems too thick for me. I wish I had done 1/1. Yeah, I already knew that I would never do 2/1 on 18 count again. I did that for my the one with the sakura flowers. I did that, and in 18 count, it was one of the, and it took me forever to finish it because it it was like the threads were so squished, and that was DMC, and it was just so squished, and I'm just unhappy with working on it completely. I did finally finish it, but man, I did not want to do it. And I actually tried tent stitch on 18 count. I didn't like that either. That was much even thinner. So yeah, I think it'll be fine. And if it's not, you know, it'll be fine. I know it'll be fine. 83. No, that's 730. Wait, did I do that right? Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. 830. Oh, that was the last one I did, wasn't it? I parked it. Like all of a sudden my brain was like, wait a minute, what are you doing? You know what? Let me double check that. I know I got 7.3, right? 730. Yeah, okay. I just did 830 and like it, I don't know, my brain just twitched. Okay, we're good, we're good. Janine says, yeah, it looks like a rug to me, but I'm gonna carry on with it. Yeah. So you can see, let's see, where is it? Because it's still sitting in my cart, right? Whoa. And like this is DMC, and look how, I mean, it's like just really thick. And I'm pretty sure this was Weigart also. And I really struggled with that because it was very thick. Oops, I dropped my fabric here. And for some reason, it's still in my cart. I've got to finish that off one of these days. And Lizzie says, I won't be here tomorrow. Something important is happening this weekend relating to my religion. Okay, yeah, no problem. So I doubt you'll see me until Sunday if Yogi's going live, or Monday if not. And Nikki says, I restarted my 18 count piece 1/1. Yeah. No problem, Lizzie. Hopefully you have a good time, whatever you're doing, and yeah, I'm glad to, you know, yeah. And I think that I'm going to, I'm thinking Sunday might be one of those days that I decide to take off. We'll see. For now, I may do that, just so I can clean house. 3-3. I'm looking the wrong numbers. 3371. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. My cart looks like a mess now because I was rifling through it. Okay. 3-3. And this week Alex isn't here for the weekend, so yeah, I don't know. He'll probably be back on Monday, so that means I probably should do something around the house. Man. I bought one of those like Velcro screen things I need to put up on my balcony door so I can open my door when it's not too cold or too hot, so that the bugs don't come in. Michelle F says, dumb question. Are you washing your complete projects by hand or in the washing machine? Nikki says she threw hers in the washing machine on hot. I probably would just wash it by hand. Just, yeah. Yeah, I probably would just wash it by hand with really, 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 really hot water. It depends. If I'm using the water soluble pen, I'll do a cold wash first, and then I'll do a hot wash. But yeah. So part of it is, I know that when you do certain kinds of weaving, creases are really hard to get out of it. So you kind of have to be careful, but I don't think I didn't. Oh, I did. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't mark that, but I did. So like you're not gonna ring it or whatever because it will definitely leave creases. But then I don't really think that that's much of an issue with cross stitch. So I don't know. Yeah. I haven't washed a lot of my stuff yet. I need to. Yeah. I was when I was looking for this project that Sanla's gonna chart for me, I was looking all over. I was like, oh wow, this, I found my package of all my finished projects. I'm like, I really should finish these. Yeah, it's a bit funny. Okay, there was only 2 stitches there. And this one is 898. Other side of the card. Oh wait, no, I did an extra stitch for extra one for that. Janine says I'd be super scared to put a project in the washing machine on hot. No, I wouldn't. Nikki says it's recommended for easy grid. I need to do it again because the grid lines are still there. Yeah. Michelle F says scary. Janine says, really? Wow, glad I don't have too many projects on Easy Grid. You would think they'd make it easier to grids to come out. And Nikki says, I probably should have pre-soaked it, which I will do next time, but I'm happy with it, else it will never get washed. Yeah. I think if I had my own no, I don't know. I was going to say, I think if I had my own washing machine, I would be more likely to do that, but then I don't know if I'd trust it either, so I don't know. Yeah, I think it just depends. Like, I moved stuff around a little bit and was messing around. Did I just pull that too hard? No, okay. Like a lot of people worry about wool, washing wool. And there are a couple of different things you just have to keep in mind when you're washing wool. Not to agitate, not to, you can take your project or wool, depending on what you're doing with the wool. Like when you're, let's say you're washing wool to spin. You can take the wool from cold to hot, but if you take it from hot to cold, it will felt. And you can use boiling hot water, but if you agitate it, that will felt it. It's not, wool is super versatile. Yeah, a lot of people worry about it a lot, but there's really no reason to worry for the most part. Kind of, Nikki said, wait, Melon says, when you washed it, did you use detergent? And Michelle F says, I will have a while to decide. And Nikki says, I threw everything in there along with the crunchy Aida I had from Amazon. Turned out fine. Crunchy Aida. Janine says, crunchy Aida, but I know what you mean. Okay, so speaking of laundry or detergent, I would be cautious about using laundry detergent if you're not sure. Absolutely do not use laundry detergent on anything wool or silk, because it will eat the enzymes in the detergent will eat it. So if in doubt, get yourself some wool wash, or something like, because those things won't have enzymes, and and Nikki says, I think I had hot to cold on instead of keeping them both hot. It's probably my fault that you can see the grid lines faintly. Yeah, I think if you soaked it first, I don't know. I don't really like, yeah. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like deciding what to do here. I'm gonna move it up to the top. Yeah, so definitely consider your detergent. That is something to worry about. If you are doing something that has wool or silk, be careful. Normal Dawn detergent is fine. Dishwashing soap is fine for wool and silk, as it doesn't have enzymes. So, just be aware. 632. And but like even wool, well, you shouldn't wash wool like in the wash machine unless you're you're not agitating. And silk you can, because silk's not going to felt, but you really silk, definitely you have to be careful and not have enzyme, because it will eat it. Most modern laundry detergents have enzymes in them now to get things clean. So, yeah. I don't even use softener anymore, Nikki. I haven't used softener in probably 20 years. They all smell too much, and I can't handle the perfumes. So I stopped buying it. Nikki says, I don't own anything wool or silk. OMG. Seriously, Nikki? Wearing wool and silk is like life. I know you live in Arizona, but trust me, you would love wearing wool no matter what. It's just like, I wear wool socks all the time. I don't care. I remember when I was somewhere and it was like freaking super hot. I was at a Viking market with my friends here in Sweden, and it was just blazing hot, and my feet were so comfortable because I was wearing wool socks. Everything else was hot. My feet were comfy, didn't sweat, nothing. It was so nice. I was happy. My feet are never happy. A lot of people don't realize that wool is so, it's so versatile. You know, it's good for you. It's good for cold and warm, and it's just really nice. I'm going outside of the lines a lot on this. That's okay. No, you do not have an allergy to it. There is no such thing. Well, okay, so wool allergies, like a proper wool, like people think they're allergic to wool, is very rare. It's super duper rare. What most people react to is the dyes or the chemicals that are used to process the wool. You know, the stuff they use to scour the wool, spinning oil that's left over can, you know, and sometimes you just get really bad wool. You know, some wools are just really rough. Different types of breeds have better wool than others. I'm wearing merino wool socks with some polyester for what do you call it? For stability, to make them last longer, because where are my socks out? And they are the softest. They are so nice. So yeah, no, you don't have to worry about it. Try it out. A lot of people, the people who are truly allergic to wool is the lanolin, but commercial wool almost never has lanolin in it. So there's that. So I don't think that's the case. I know I know a lot about textiles, just so you know. Mohair is itchy. I hate mohair. Yeah, mohair is not really nice. I think I did as a child, and it was itchy for me. Do I have an allergy to it? Okay, I just answered that. Janine says, I would never think to wear wool socks in the summer. I would think your feet would be super hot. Nope, absolutely not. Wool it's cooling and warming. It's so versatile. It's such a great fiber. You know, sheep have been domesticated to the point where they cannot survive on their own, and it's a renewable source. So wool can, you know, you can compost it. You can, you know, it's not going to be like plastic. It's not going to sit around forever like you know, plastic, fleece, or, you know, like all that stuff. And it does have properties for cooling and warming, depending on what you need. It's very neutral. Lizzie says, I love wearing woolen garments, the scrunch of wool balls in my hands, but I hate the feel of it passing in my fingers. It really irritates me, which is why I don't knit. I think, Lizzie, that if you use something like a tensioning ring or something, I think you'd probably be fine. You could try it out anyway. And Melon says, there was a wool I used for a sweater. It was really rough and itchy. Apparently the yarn is really good for cold temps. Lizzie says, mohair is itchy. I hate mohair. Melon says, I don't have an issue without mohair. Let me find the brand of the yarn. And some brands, you know, some races of sheep have coarser wool. So if you're going to go with a merino, you're good. You know, so say Cascade 220, that's like a, you know, a pretty brand name wool yarn. I believe they said that their wool is like a Corriedale or something like that. It's a little bit coarser, but I wear it. I don't mind. You know, sometimes they're a little itchy, but, you know, you get used to it. Alex has worn wool since the day he was born, he has never complained about itchy wool. You know, he's never ever. He's always worn wool. Like whenever all the other kids were wearing polar fleece, he was wearing wool. Because, yeah, I wasn't going to put that plastic crap on him. Because I don't do plastic for my kid. If there's a fire, the last thing you want to have on you is polar fleece. If you're in an accident, God forbid, you do not want to be wearing polar fleece. Because that is, yeah, it melts. Absolutely never. Okay, so this color I've not cut before. And if you wear that and you like it, great. I have worn it. I just really dislike it. And everything is made with it now, which is really horrible. So now I wear a wool sweater under my shell jacket, which I'd rather do. I'm a bit of a fiber nerd, you might notice. Polar fleece is plastic. That's all it is. It is plastic. And we do not need that in our environment. Microplastic is a big problem, and it is in polar fleece. You know, all those plasticky stuff is, yeah, it's plastic. And it melts. So be careful. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't think about it. But if you take a scrap of it and you know, test it out, you're going to see it melts up like a mother. And also, when you're wearing polar fleece, you're wearing plastic. So imagine putting a plastic bag on yourself. You're not breathing. It's not breathable. It's like, ugh. And that was something that, you know, because Alex, he always wore wool undergarments, you know, under his winter clothes. He always wore wool. And then if he wasn't wearing that, he was wearing a wool sweater. In the springtime, they said that Alex was the only kid that wasn't coming in completely sweaty. He was the only dry one because of that. All the other kids were just completely drenched with sweat because of their clothing. And I was like, justified. I do with my North Face jackets. Love it. LOL. You mean sweat? Ugh. Ugh. I bought a balaclava, you know, for riding my bike, and I can't, because, you know, when it's really cold and I'm riding my bike, it's really cold. But it's like, it's not, you know, not wool, and it's so sweaty, and my face gets all drenched from it. But sometimes it's just so cold that, you know, I have to make myself one, but I haven't done that because I'm lazy. Also, like I said, wool is renewable. Um, it it's recyclable. It's compostable. Um, yeah, it's just really good. And I am going to end up parking this. This should be good enough. Well, not parking. I'm going to cut it off. Okay, so Melon says it's a lopi. Yeah, that's a lopi is a Icelandic wool, and it is a much rougher wool, so that's why a lot of times those lopi wools, they're meant for outer garments. Like you're supposed to wear something else underneath it. You're not going to put it up against your skin. So that's why. And the fiala sounds like fjall is mountain, or no, fjall is, yeah, that's like a mountain. Fjalla, and lopi is it's an unspun, it's a lightly spun wool. So, and Nikki says she misses her dragonflies. Aw, well, go work on it then. You're okay. I was really enjoying working on my neighbor, the stained glass Totoro, yesterday. That was really fun. And this one, didn't I do an extra one of this? No, I didn't. Fabric cut and gridded. Good job, Natty. Awesome. Yeah. It's gonna be a beautiful place, Sal. Not weekly though. Still have to do my rotation, or my wheel spin rotation. Oh, don't forget, tomorrow is Christmas in July, so we'll be working on Christmas. Nikki says this one's reminding me of Traveling Library. No, it's not as bad. Traveling Library, man, that was crazy. And I'm sure this one has crazy parts too. But so far, it's flowing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. And I'm doing the blue Sue method. So here I'm gonna, I'm doing like a little bit of both. I have the regular size max color on Traveling Library. Wait, what am I doing here? Did I mess up already? I bet it did. Oh, you know what? I did those ones already. That's why. I just didn't mark them. Okay. Right? Yeah, okay. I just hadn't marked it. But not that one. Okay. Alright. I hadn't marked it. Let's mark that real quick so I don't forget. Well, I don't think it was. I decided to do max color on it. I was like, why not, right? And I started it with regular color, and there really wasn't that much difference in the part I was working on. And I probably would have finished. I probably would have continued with it if I had chose different fabric, and that's really an issue. Let's see. I need to plan out my path a little bit. Lizzie says, I'm glutton for punishment. I want supersized max color. And Nikki says, ew, max color regular size. Yeah, I probably wasn't the smartest. Well, I didn't finish it, so I didn't even... Yeah, I didn't actually get very far on it. Well, I actually did. I actually did pretty good on it. I couldn't see. It sucks. Yeah, if Lizzie was closer, I'd give her it. You could have it, Lizzie. But, yeah. Never mind. Yeah, I'm going to put this over here. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2. No. Oh, I'll do a pivot and move it up. I'm like, yeah, have a plan, and it might be a bit cunning. Probably not, though. Okay, and that one's there. And bucket. Nice. That is just calling for confetti. No, yeah, it is. Nikki says, I can't believe the confetti for the double supersized max color panels. I don't even like cats. Yeah. Oh, what did you miss, Ebony? Oh, I just gave a lecture about the qualities of wool and the evils of polar fleece, mostly, and stitching. You remind me of, yes, exactly. That's where it's from, Lizzie. Lizzie says, you reminded me of Baldric. Then I have a cunning plan, Mr. Blackadder. Yep, exactly. That's where that came from. Oh, Blackadder says that too. Everyone says that in that show, pretty much. I love Blackadder. Yeah. Wolf. I remember when I first found Blackadder, I was like, just laughing. It's so funny. 221. No, not on the board. I really do need to go through and fill my board up a little more. Yeah, there's always that, I have a plan. And then usually my friends will say that, and I'll say, Is it cunning? Yeah. Oh, I'm a Blackadder addict. I used to have a daily quote thing. Well, it was on Facebook. I guess because Facebook is stupid and you can't find anything, right? It's probably gotten buried in somewhere. But it used to be, I used to get daily Blackadder quotes. That was so fun. Early days of Facebook when it was actually decent. Lizzie says, I love Queenie. First, I'm going to have a little Dwinkie, and then I'm going to execute the whole Bali lot of you. Yeah, exactly. I love Nurse too. Nursey is so funny. It's all hilarious. All of it. Flashheart, he's got to be my favorite. I didn't really appreciate Rick Mao early because I had seen him on Bottom and I thought Bottom was just disgusting. But I didn't quite get the humor at first, and then it's like, yeah, Rick Mao, he's just awesome. He was awesome, I should say. It's too bad. Gone too soon. Wolf, yeah. Fleshheart's the name. Oh my gosh, I love Fleshheart. Yeah, it's just it's every time he comes on, every time he was in one of those episodes of Blackadder, it was just like you could tell that chaos reigned on the episode. You know, it must have been just so difficult to film. I can't imagine because I don't know. He's crazy. Yeah, not in Bottom. Yeah, Bottom was like, oh, it grossed me out actually. My ex really liked Bottom. But there was some really good stuff in Bottom. So you know, it was like there was some pretty funny stuff, but then you had to, you know, there was some stuff that was kind of like, yeah, that's gross. Let's mark some stitches here so I don't lose my place, because I sort of was losing my place. Kind of worked my way over to the edge here. That's good. Wait, I was gonna do this one right here. No, I think I won't. I think I'm gonna work my way over here and then back. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. My name is Suzanne, by the way, or not Susan, absolutely not Susan. No, I'm not kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding. That's not my name. I'm using 18 count, and I love it because I can see it. My eyes are so bad, I can't see anything. I'm using a magnifier and big old 18 count, but I like it. I like it. What are you using? I wish my eyes were better. It would be nice, but you know, whatever. Okay, I was gonna say I parked this, but I parked it down farther, so we'll do this stitch too. I do dislike decision fatigue. Like, how do I decide? I'm so bad. Oops, no, that wasn't it. And that one's done. 28 count. Okay, cool. Oh, it's okay. I'm messing with you, Natty. My dad hated me being called Susan. He's like, her name is Suzanne. My mom, she didn't give a shit. Let's see. Lizzie says, I like men behaving badly, but only as an adult. As a teen, I did not get it. Yeah. Nettie says, oh my god, my phone autocorrected. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and trust me, I know how that is. Ebony, what count are you using? And Nikki's 25 count. Lizzie says, however, Martin Clunes and Neil Morrissey have become top-notch actors in their own right. Neil, who was dopey in Men Behaving Badly, was spine-tingling in Line of Duty. Oh, I like Martin Clunes, yeah. I really liked Doc Martin until they leaned a little bit too hard in the narrow, spicy parts of him. I mean, I still loved it, but that kind of was like, they didn't really have to do that. But yeah. But that's just me. I don't think using it as a plot is very good. They did the same thing with Bones. They started out really okay, and then they leaned into that, and it was like, no, sorry, it just doesn't work for me. Okay. Let's see. Nikki says, my DMC needleboard is so unruly compared to my CXC. DMC is like curly hair, CXC is like straight hair. Nettie says, I was going to go with 32 count, but I was like, no, I want to enjoy it, and 28 is my soft spot. Yeah. And Ebony's also working on 25 count. And see, I'm working on 18 count. Yeah. Okay, and then we're on one more color on this block. Actually, that's pretty good. There are 31 stitches in one color. I'm like, yes. And that is number 400. I don't have any on there. I'm gonna set up 2 needles because, yeah. Oh, almost swallowed my yeah. Don't do that. Let's do an extra needle for 400. I'm a little bit crazy today. Okay. So. I have a skin crack on my finger, of course. It's stupid. And just put some hand cream on. Wash my hands too much. Janine says, I got my needle board done. It's working great. I have to buy more needles. Yeah. These symbols are killing me. Nikki says, oh, you know what? I went through and changed them all. Because I cannot stand the symbols that Stitch So Beautiful uses. So I went through yesterday and just changed them all. Any of the ones that were wingdings, I changed them to cross stitch 3. You can do that in Saga. It's super easy. It's easier to do it in cross stitch in Saga than Paradise, I find, because you can just kind of go down the line. There's less messing around with it. And I'll still change symbols as I go if I don't like them. I don't care. I remember when I first switched to Saga, I remember one of the patterns I had been working on, the symbols didn't match. And I was like, oh no, they don't match. It's like, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. It's just different symbols. It's okay. I'm going to use my ballpoint needle while I do all these stitches. Let's see. Nikki says, yay, Janine, you got to get more needles. Nikki says, I just kept ordering the cheapos from Amazon, but I love the Dream Stitch. I love the ones from Dream Stitch, and they're the same price now. Yeah, the ones I really liked that were cheaper were from AliExpress. I really liked those. The ones I got from Dream Stitch, they're very similar, but they were more expensive. But the ones from AliExpress were really cheap. I really liked those. Janine says, I never ordered them from Dream Stitch. I'll have to check them out. And Nikki says, so it's all Karen Needlebug's fault, I think. Every time my eyes see that symbol that looks like an eggplant, I can't help but think of it. Anyone else? Sarah says, I'm going to set up a needleboard after we get moved. I'm not sure which symbol you're talking about because I changed them all. Because I can't stand those ones. They're weird and they look funny and I don't like them. So here now we gotta stick the needle in here. It's a little crowded back here. Nikki says, I need to get more of the block stitch so it'd be easier to transfer to Saga. Yeah. And Nikki says, my AliExpress needles took so long to arrive. Yeah. I need to order some more. I actually think I need to order some more. I have to look and see. Oh, I know. I was going to order another, some more pen refills. And the shop that has the pen refills has the needles. So I was going to do it at the same time, but I'm going to have to wait because I need to order floss first. And floss is $50. I mean, I probably could get away with buying less floss. But, yeah. I think it works out better if I buy all the floss now and, you know, not pay shipping twice. Maybe. I don't know. The symbols is from the Haid ones. What do you mean, which symbols? And Lizzie says, I like the different symbols from different companies uses. I don't know what it is, but it's just like, I think the cross stitch 3 is what Haid uses, and I think that I've gotten, I don't know, they work for me. I like that consistency. So I just changed them because I don't care. Yeah, I guess I'll do this. So now I'm back over here. I can do it in rows. Nikki says, is it 50 total? The needles? Oh, I don't remember. I think it was 100. I don't know. I put a list. I mean, I put a link in Discord for the needles that I buy. I bought 2 packets. I think that was 200. Yeah. I don't think it's 200. 100 pack. I think the ones I bought from Dream Stitch, I only got like 25 or something. They were nicer, you know, but not by much. You know, they were very similar. I have all of them mixed up in one batch, and I can't tell the difference. Here, let's see. This one, I think that's where that is. Yeah. No, your threads. Wait, 50 thread? What do you mean? Wait, I'm lost all of a sudden. Sorry. What are we talking about? The pattern has 100. Is it 50 total? I'm confused. Sorry, Nikki. I'm like, my brain just stopped and went like, what? Oh, sheesh. You mean how long they are? $50. Oh yeah, 50 for 300. 50, yeah, 50, and that's 300 skeins. Yeah. That's 200 painted fairy and 100 arrow. You couldn't do that in DMC. Oh, it's freaking awesome. Even some shops that sell CXC, that's, you know, you can't even do CXC for that price. Or Royal Embroidery, you can't do Royal Embroidery for that price either. It's pretty good. Thread chicken. Yeah. So I'm trying to just, I was like trying to be frugal, which, you know, yeah, right. But yeah. Oh, and that's also giving me the threads I need for my Bella Filipina also. So did I do a 400? Yes, I did. Okay. Which really, in the scheme of things, doesn't cost that much. Yeah, that's with shipping. Shipping is like really cheap, actually. It's nice. And I also bought myself a little magnet, and that's about it. The magnet was, you know, like $2 or something. But that's 100 arrow and 200 fairy floss. So it's not too bad. I'm gonna go over here and do this one too. Yeah. I used to design, knit stuff. And actually, let me do this real quick. And I just found out that I'm going to get $25 from one of my patterns, which is nice. I didn't get any last quarter, so I sold 8 patterns. Yay! One of my patterns was supposed to be in Interweave magazine, but they sell it on their website. But still, yeah, it's pretty nice. I don't know when I'm getting it, but Nikki says, Ebony, what thread did you use before? And Nikki says, wow, that's good. I love Dream Stitch. Yeah, me too. I love, love, love. Dream Stitch is awesome. You can't go wrong. That's such a good deal. I mean, that's a lot of thread. It's a lot of thread. I'm telling you. Couldn't afford to do full coverage otherwise. Okay, and here we're gonna park right here. Yep. Nice. Look at that. Let me mark some stuff off that I didn't mark off. I should have done that one. That's okay. Oops, wait, let's put that back on there. Oh, I only did those 2. Nope, didn't park there. No, not there either. Fat finger. Oh yeah, there we go. Bucket. Nice. And off to the next one. Woohoo! Before what? Ebony uses royal broderie, right? And CXC, if I remember right. Okay, let me trim some ends, some tufties out. Oh, and I also used Lovecraft Forever's code because I haven't taken the time to get one yet. I do need to email him. It would be nice if I could get work with them like that. And I'm sure I could because yeah. Ebony says, yeah, I use royal broderie for the most part, just CXC for 32 count. I'm looking forward to using more of the fairy floss in different projects instead of just one. Well, that's not true. I'm using it for 2 projects, using painting fairy for 2 projects, and then I have royal broderie for 2 projects. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing more with the painting fairy. There. Okay. Nice. I'm gonna drink some water real quick. Nikki says, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't think you used DMC. Yeah, I can't. DMC is crazy if you live here in Europe. Well, anywhere outside the U.S. It's crazy. Okay. I mean, look at this. There's hardly any thread, different colors in this. It's so nice. It's like just yeah, pleasant. I mean, there's still a bit, so it's not just like block stitching. It's still you know, but it's not too bad. Wait a minute. That's the wrong one. That's why. Seriously. I'll just leave that there. I picked the wrong thread. I'm like, yahoo! I'm doing good, and then yeah. No. This one's really short. I am feeling a bit goofy. Sorry, guys. Is that right? Oh, that's... Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't work. It's because... No, that's right. What's going on? Oh, I see. I'm like, wait, something's not right here. The count was off. Okay, there we go. That was a little bit... That was really short. It's okay. Let's see. Ebony says, I really don't like DMC. Had multiple sets and sold it all. And Nikki says, Nettie, where did you start? And Nikki says, yeah, DMC is not that great. I've been enjoying not stitching with it, lol. Yeah, I was like, when I switched, when I first bought the Royal Embroidery, I was like, wow, this is so different, like in a good way. And then I bought the Painted Fairy and I was like, OMG, this is so nice. Well, you know, like, yeah. So yeah, I agree. Their quality has gone down. Because, you know, I have some vintage DMC that I bought at the secondhand store, and it's really nice. But it's quite old, so... and this one's gonna go... Well, quite old. It's not that old. It's from the 80s. I'm not gonna say it's old. And we're gonna put that over here. Maybe if I make it. Ebony says, I find it knots and snaps like crazy for me. Yeah, it knots a lot. That's what I didn't like. It untwists a lot easier. Nutty says, I started top left. I think I'm going to do 20 all the way across typewriter method. Oh, cool. Yeah, I get decision fatigue, and I prefer to, I've been really enjoying this way of doing it. I think I'll just do that and take it out. 315. And no. Oh, I was gonna say that's a pretty color. It's like, what did I do here? I have like all these little ends. What the heck? Okay, here wait. I need to. You know what I should do? I think is give myself a certain amount of space, and if it's not within that space, that I'm just going to take it off. Like here, I feel like that down here is a little too far, and here is also too far, so I think I'm just going to do those stitches and take it off. Yeah, I'll try it. That's my plan. I really like Airo Floss. Actually, the more I've been using it, the more I'm thinking, well, maybe I prefer it. But I do like Fairy Floss, so we'll see. I'll do one more project with Fairy Floss and then see how I like it, you know. If I go here, that's probably pretty good. And I also decided that I don't usually, unless they're in the way, I'm not going to bother with the park threads until I get to that number. That's sort of what my decision has been lately. Oops. Unless they're in the way, and they're not. So, yeah, I can move them around. It messes with my min to max. Okay, 3 and 5. Ow, just poked myself. Needleboard. Okay. Whoa! Oh, shit. Almost dropped my needleboard. It like slipped out. Oh, okay. Sheesh. Okay. This is that one that I was gonna do and I messed up. I wish I liked typewriter better, but I find that I hate doing all the filling in later. It just feels messy. Min to max is my favorite. I missed the hole there. Ooh. Sorry. How are you working yours, Nikki? Can use my ballpoint needle. What? The only thing I don't like about the AC is the noise. I'm starting to get tired of the noise. But it's worth it. It's cool. They were warning for extreme heat for the last couple days. It's not. It's not that warm. Not really. I feel bad having my AC on, but yeah, I think I'll do that. Nikki says, I'm keeping myself contained cross country. I guess sort of typewriter, but I love filling in the holes. It feels like a puzzle. I have to search for the spots. Yeah. I think what it bothers me is that I'm hopping over a bunch of thread or a bunch of stitches, and I prefer to have it all covered up. And I think that that's why the Blue Sue method is working for me. Okay, so this is really short, so I'm gonna go over here and do these 3 stitches and then end it. I have noticed since I switched to doing it this way, my backs are much neater. I have less issues with the little crappy things coming up through the front. I mean, yeah, okay, I do have to like fuss about a little bit more, but I think it's worth it. I stopped doing it thinking, oh, the heck with it. And then I realized that no, I prefer it. And I went back to block by block, and I didn't like that either. I'm much happier with the diagonal. Lizzie's gonna go. Okay. What? Wait a minute. Nikki says, it's cool that you are allowed AC. I found out many can't in Europe. Oh, that's not true. You just have to pay for it. You got to buy it. Lizzie says, well, I'm going to go soon. I have an early night, so I'll be around for Yoga's Live. Okay. See you later, Lizzie. And Michelle F says, that's how I like to stitch too, Nikki. And Ebony says, to be honest, I've never cared about my backs. I don't think mine are particularly bad though. Yeah, and I don't really care about it, but I guess I do. So yeah, so I've always done I've always until I moved here, I've always entered competitions with different types of handworks, and I think that it made me be more like pedantic about how my work looks. And I used to, even with my knitting, I used to be like, whatever, if I made a mistake, I'm like, psh, whatever. But the more I knitted, the more I felt that I found pleasure in it looking good. Like making sure that, if I made a mistake, I took it out. Because, yeah, I wasn't going to be happy with it if I didn't. And I think that that's where it sort of comes from. But also what I was finding was when I was doing the loop starts and whatever, that the ends were coming up, and then they would get in the way, which bothered me. So I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna do this. I'm trying not to overthink things. Like, part of me is like, okay, go out there and do those. But I'm like, don't overthink it. So, yeah, I think that kind of competition style attitude kind of does that for me. I used to be more like, if I was sewing something and if it wasn't right, I'd be like, okay, whatever, and I don't like that I don't like myself doing that, and I don't care about anybody else, You do you, I don't care. But me, I just was like, yeah. Let's see. Janine says, gotta go. See you later. See you later, Janine. Thank you for being here. Oh, wait. Let's see. Nikki says, Michelle, how do you pick your next symbol? Nikki says, my backs are not my business. My backs are not my business. Okay. They're not your business. They're not my business either. Natty says, I don't like making too many decisions. LOL, so typewriter method is my go-to as a base. Natty says, my backs are a nightmare. LOL, don't like to look at it. It's so smoky outside today in Rochester, New York. Oh, I've heard, my friend lives in Massachusetts. She's saying it's really bad too there. Joyce says, hi Joyce, my backs look like rats on a gathering frenzy. Natty says, my daughter, or not Natty, Nikki says, Natty, my daughter this morning to show me the smoke. Oh, FaceTime. She's in Ohio. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I think that now that I've been doing this, it's like almost like I love the way the back looks now, and so yeah, and I prefer Min to Max just because I still don't have to make any decisions. 355. I don't have to make any decisions. I just it's a really short one. I just take whatever's Min to Max. Michelle F says, I don't have a set way of picking the next symbol. When it looks like I need to fill in, I do. When I have too much confetti, I look for block stitching. Natty says, yesterday the outside world had a yellow tint all day. It's really smoky. Travis was talking about that yesterday on Yogi Stream, that it's crazy. He's in, I think he said he was in Ontario, and it's close to where he lives, where the fire is. That's just crazy. Michelle says, that's why I put ethereal love on a scroll frame so I could roam around a bit. Yeah, that's good. And Nikki says, I love how many options we have to stitch. It's so interesting to see everyone's style. Love it. Yeah. and I do think that once, like with Neko Hotel, the way I have that one, I've been stitching it. I'm not stitching it color flow, but it's sort of similar. Well, it's Blue Sue's method, which is, it's not color flow, but it's very similar. And I have like a whole diagonal, so I can go and move around a little bit on it. And I think that that's sort of what the plan is, how I've been planning my work lately. Like I'll do a bunch of the top, and then I'll start working, a little bit down. At least that's somewhat the plan. Michelle says, I do not care at all how my back looks. I just don't travel with my floss too far. Yeah. And well, okay. So here's a couple of my opinions on it. I guess we'll call it opinion. It's, yeah. So when you're weaving, okay, so we'll use weaving as a, well, actually, weaving, there's a lot of different crafts that have the same issue. And so when you're weaving and you're doing what do you call it, overshot, which means that your weft threads are going over a lot, you don't want it to go too far. You don't want those floats to be too big, right? Because the bigger they are, they take up more fabric, more thread, and the easier they are to get caught on something. So, for example, if you're doing a rug, you don't want large floats, especially if you have cats or dogs, because they will get caught on it. That's just an example there. The other thing is then when you consider color work in knitting, when you have those big floats, you're never taking your threads more than 5 stitches without anchoring it, because the more floats you have makes it shrink up, right? So that's something to think about. And also when you're wearing it, you're going to get caught in it. So when I'm stitching, I have those things in mind, because if I was to make a big float and not have it covered, there's that chance that while I'm working, I might catch it. And after it's done, if I wash it, it shouldn't shrink. But there's that possibility that, there might be some puckering because that float is so long. And I think that's what goes through my mind when I'm doing that. And because getting caught on it or, puckering, because that happens with color work. It's really annoying when you do something wrong in color work and it puckers. So I think that's where my thought process is on that. And it's probably not necessary. A lot of people don't care, and a lot of people carry their stuff really long. But I think that it's sort of ingrained in me. And I think that's why... and I think that's why Blue Sue's method really works for me in that way, because it is something that, she's that's something that's important to her, that her threads are covered. And that's, yeah. And here I'm going to go up and park it. And that will go here. I may... Wait, that's there. Oh, my eyes are burning. Okay. And Nikki says, I usually don't travel farther than 10 stitches. Just will stop and start, but love stitching out my thread if I can, or I'll weave it in the back if I don't want to start and stop. Yeah, I do that too. I will turn it over, weave it in, and continue if I really feel like it's not, if it feels like it's too far, I will do that too. Let me see if there's some more coffee. But it's kind of hard, I think, turning my work and weaving under. I did that a lot in Unicorn Valley because I started just stitching wherever. So I would turn it over, weave it in, and move it ahead. 400 again. I think I used that. Yes, I did. I don't know if Christina's here, but she was here one time visiting, and I was telling her that I was worried about my backs. She showed me hers, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not worried about my backs. Because she's an extreme cross country. She cross countries, and she just goes everywhere, and I was like, oh no. Look away, look away. Yeah, I love Christina. She's the best. And it really is. It's it's interesting how we all have different ideas and techniques and everything. Oops. There we go. But as I said, I'm still fairly new at full coverage, so I feel like I'm still learning. Oops, that's not right. Michelle says, I don't go too far, and I pin stitch when getting a little far. Yeah, I have been. If for example, when I do this part here, let's see, hold on. When I do this part here, if I didn't have threads down here to do, I would do like a little pin and away and then move it up, because I prefer working from the top down. Though I did see there was this guy. Oh no, I need to look at that again. I think it was something that Joyce recommended. Joyce, I keep forgetting to look at her video. Nikki, remind us to watch that video. We should put it in the Discord so I remember. Well, when I'm done, I'm gonna do that and post it in Discord so we all see it. It was this guy that did diagonals, and he had a way of doing it. He would go like down and up, and so, but when I did that, I lost count and I was making mistakes. So I kind of stopped doing that pretty quickly, because I was making counting errors. And I'm better when I do. I can do snake method. Snake method works pretty well. I do snake method with the Hardinger often because of so the threads don't slip. I'm gonna go down here. I'm like, yeah, okay. But I don't remember what the guy's name was. I'll have to look that up again. And he had a bunch of different ways. You could start from the bottom. You could, yeah, it was kind of interesting. Blitz stitch, yes, thank you, Nikki. Yes, that's who it was. I wanted to. That's when I started working at that. Actually, I was looking at that when I started Neko Hotel, because I wanted to do color flow, and then color flow was like, no. And so then I was looking for something else, but his didn't start. He didn't start his on the right side, and so I was like, I was unsure how to do it. So yeah, whoops, that went through the wrong hole. His video was pretty good, but it did feel like there was something missing. I probably have to watch it again, but it felt like there was something not really there. Yeah, he does his diagonals vertically. It blows my mind. Yeah, and I liked it because it really makes sense, but I was already having count. Wait, that's not where I parked that. I was already having counting issues. And it was like, no. I do that with pricks everywhere. I do that sometimes with pricks everywhere. But sometimes it's just like, no, it's like counting. Counting is an issue. Let's see, I'll take this. So I haven't done quite. I've done about 250, I guess. Well, this will be about 250. It's not that bad considering, I think. Wait, I was gonna do that. 165 stitches. I have to feed the babies. Thank you. I love it. See you later, Natty. Give your babies a sniggy. Sorry. Alex, I don't know. He said that one time, and we always call a cuddle a sniggy. I'm not sure why, but he started that, and so I was like, give me a sniggy, you know. It's just something he came up with. I think that it was one of those words that he tried pronouncing without being able to. He didn't know how it was pronounced, but he was reading it. Hi, Marlene. Welcome in. Let's see. Mark those. Oh, itchy neck. There's a lot of movement in this project, but it's really feels pretty nice. I'm just gonna put this over here. Do these ones over here real quick, and then go back and do those. Bye, Nettie. And Nettie says, I'll be listening, just not stitching for about an hour. Okay. We're here. Oh, it's 6:30 already. Woohoo. You did pretty good. I'm going to stitch for a little longer. I started late, so I'll stitch a little longer anyway. What are you working on, Marlene? Nikki, she started it during the stream. Arr. Oh, wait, that was Nikki. When did you start yours? I thought you meant Natty. I was all like, oh, wait, Natty started it during the stream. Yeah. New Year's? Oh, really? I thought you'd been working on it longer than that. But you started a bunch of stuff during the New Year's. I didn't know you started that one. I don't remember where I got this. And I'm just going to put this down here. There we go. I'll cut that off a little bit. Oops. Missed. Wiggle my bouquet a little bit. Oh, if you order from Dream Stitch, these scissors, I totally recommend. They are so nice. They cut so nicely. Those ones and these ones, they are just lovely scissors. I love them. If you like scissors like me. I have just a few pair. I'm actually thinking about getting another pair of those, the first ones I showed, because I really like them. Oh, yeah, bucket. I was like, wait a minute, I just did those stitches. Okay, and it's less color. Not bad. When did you start yours, Ebony? Nikki says, yeah, I got in the rhythm now. I want to stitch in Saga, so I'm trying to fill in the blocks so I can transfer it easily. Ah, good. Well, you don't... How much do you have on it now? Because it looks... Well, I don't think it looked that difficult to... You know, it wasn't... Oops. I love how flowy this chat is so far. Aw, thank you. It's been really fun. We have a really good chat going, I think. Yeah, we're good. I've been really enjoying it. It's not too big, you know. We're doing great. Ebony started in June. Oh wait, 2024. I was like, wait, oh, Ebony, I knew you were fast, but dang. Yeah, okay, 2024. You have a lot done on it though. Yeah, it's definitely not like these new SBC charts. Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. I'm super enjoying it so far. It feels it's flowing really nicely. Let me mark some stitches off though. Okay. So I keep track. I think there was only maybe 1 or 2 ninja stitches so far, and they were, you know, easy enough to deal with. Needleboard helps for that. I mean, I don't mind 1 or 2. It's just when there's like 30 in one square, it's annoying. I mean, it doesn't look like much so far, but I know this top part was just like a bunch of autumn colors. I love autumn colors. I really do, actually. This will be really... I remember when I first saw this chart, I was like, OMG, I love this. But I actually thought that it was really big. I mean, it's pretty big, but it's wide. And I was already dreaming about how it'll look on the wall. Already dreaming about how it's gonna look on the wall, guys. Okay. Mark those and that and that. Ebony says, right, so when I was hearing about Stitch So Beautiful being confetti heavy, I was like, what? Stitch So Beautiful, Marlene. Nikki says, sorry, SSB or whatever it's called. Yeah, it doesn't work for voice to text either because it always does so instead of so. So I always have to go through and check it again. You'll have to drill into the concrete walls for this one. Yeah, I know. Well, I got my command strips out, so I'm actually thinking about looking for that one portrait of Alex that I do want to hang up and hanging it up. He's so cute. He's such a cutie. Well, he was. Now he's just a stinky teen. No, I love him. He's still stinky though. Man, that kid, I swear, super photogenic. They stopped in I think I want to say when I moved here to Sweden, or not to Sweden, but to where I live now, I was like, don't they do pictures? They stopped doing pictures. And I was like, dang. Oh no. Marlene says, sorry, I type strange. I have litter on my keyboard that don't want to work. Letters. Okay, letters on your keyboard. Yeah, it looks like the E doesn't work, huh? Yeah, that's definitely an issue sometimes. Let's see. I ran out of thread, so I'm gonna grab another strand. Did I? No, yeah, they stopped doing pictures. So I have no school pictures after, like, he was 11 or something. It was really annoying. And then this year they were like, oh, you know, if you want pictures, you got to pay for them. And I'm like, okay, great, you know, I want pictures. And they didn't take them. They just did a class photo, and I was like, I'm not paying that for a class photo. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, those days are over, I guess. Gosh, this is so annoying. Aww. Maybe take a piece of paper and like stick it under the edge of the keys. Sometimes that helps. Okay, so I am going to let's go here. I always get crap in my keys because of knitting and spinning, and yeah, there's always something in my keyboard. I will say this new keyboard, or not new, but this one I stole from Alex like 2 years ago or something. It's awesome. It's very nice. Well, I didn't do a ton, but I'm pretty pleased with this amount. This is probably about 250, I'm guessing. We'll see in a second. But we're at 3 hours now. I think I'll continue this later after I eat my dinner. Okay, oh, let's cut some threads off. That doesn't look too bad. What do you guys think? Let me zoom out. That's in. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Ooh. Okay, let me cut some threads off and then we'll check the totals. Do you have another keyboard, Marlene? Hopefully you can do something about it. That's too bad. Oh, did I just cut that? No, okay. I better double check that. No, it looks okay. Phew. I was like, it looked like there was a little extra thread sticking out, and I thought maybe I cut it. Looks good. Okay, thanks. Yeah, you're not gonna tell me it looks like garbage though, so Nikki. I don't know if I trust you. No, I'm only kidding. I think you'd tell me if it looked bad. It's a mechanical keyboard, so husband has to check it. Aw. Yeah, with the mechanical keyboards, that's what I have. You can usually get them cleaned out. It's good. There you go. Let's see. I didn't do. Here's this one down here. I can take this one out. No, I can't. That one's from over there. I'll just leave it. It's not hurting anything. And this one. Oh, I think. I'm gonna leave that one too. I figure better to leave it than cut it too soon. Okay, yeah, I don't think it looks too bad. There's not a huge amount of park threads. That's good. Oh, yeah, I should, whoa. Oh, seriously. 0.23%. And I parked it there. There we go. It's a small start, right? Oh, the thing is like way behind. Oh, I guess not too bad. Okay, let's see what we did. 264. Yeah, that's not bad. See, that's what I figured. It was about 250. I don't think that's too bad. That's 3 hours. So, yeah. I mean, that's pretty good. A bit slow, but yeah. I'm slow sometimes. Anyway. Okay, so tomorrow is Christmas in July. And, yeah. I don't think there's anything else we need to think about. Oh, I'm going to look for Joyce's video, and I'll post a link on that. So we can do that. So anyway, I'm going to go so I can go eat some dinner. And, yeah. Oh, I'm tired now. No, I'm not tired. I am. I'm tired. But yeah. So, everyone have a good night. And Yogi's on tonight, right? I left early because I was tired. So I actually don't know if she's... Oh, I know why I left. Because she started talking... Somebody asked her about even weave, and I was like... Linen and even weave, and I was like, I'm out of here. was like, oh, I can't. I was like, no, I'm out. Yeah. Because, yeah, that is just, that I'm not going there anymore. Anyway, so I will see you all later. Thanks for being here, and thank you for helping me celebrate the 100th episode. And that's awesome. So have a good evening or day if it's early for you, or night if it's late for you. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And bye for now.